Hello, Algebra 1 students. We're back to our Interim 2 test review, and we're on number 12. What is the solution to the system of equations shown? One of the quick ways is by using Desmos, and you will graph each one. Each one gets its own line in Desmos, and remember you are looking for the intersection of the two lines. So we are looking for an x and a y where they actually meet each other. So when I work on number 12, I can use Desmos. Some of you may have also worked with substitution.
Meeting is starting at this time in room 1135.
So if I start substitution, and what if I solve for one of the letters and then I put that back in? So 2 times 5 plus y instead of x plus 3y equals 6. And that would be 10 plus 2y plus 5y, or 3y, excuse me, equals 6. That's 10 plus 5y equals 6. So let's see. I am subtracting 10. And then I have 5y equals negative 4, and I'd be dividing by 5. So y equals negative 4/5. Now, the equivalent of that in Desmos should have come out as negative 0.8 for y. And then if I want to figure out x, I go back to where I said x equals 5 plus, and I put in negative 4/5, and that comes out to 4 1/5, or you would get the decimal of 4.2. So again, in Desmos, it should say 4.2. That is our intersection that works for both. Let's move on to number 13. 13, what is the y value? So once again, we are going to solve the system. And again, Desmos is a great option on this. And you should get negative 1/5 as the intersection, and then 5 is the y value of that duo. And of course, you could use another method. If you learned elimination or combination, you'd probably multiply all that by negative 1 and go from there to combine and solve for x, and then go back and solve for y. Number 14. Whenever you're given a graph and you're asked for the solution to the system, you just need to figure out where they meet and then read it off the graph. That's at 5, negative 2. So my answer is 5, negative 2, and I can move on. Number 15 is doing a word problem for us. $9 for adult, $6 for student. So right now, I'm going to assign A, they said, is adult, and they said S is student. So make sure we use those variables wherever we go. Okay, so A and S. Ms. Smith purchased 8 tickets, so some are student and some are adult. So that's my first equation, adult plus student equals 8. And she spent $105. Now all my dollars go together. So let's go back and retrieve $9 for the adult tickets, $6 for the student tickets, and the total amount is 105. So now we have our system of equations, and again we can use Desmos to solve, or you could use substitution. However, this just says write a system. So we're actually done at that point with this problem. Number 16, solve by graphing. So here we need to graph both of our equations. And again, Desmos can help you out. The first one, 4x plus 2y equals 6. Okay, so that, if I look at Desmos, it's crossing at 3, but then it's crossing at 1 1/3. Okay, so that line is looking like it has a slope like here. Okay, So its slope ends up being -2. I'll try to make that precise, because whenever we're solving systems, we want to be as precise as possible for our graph so that we can see where they actually meet. And then I'm going to assign red to my next one. It crosses at 1, and it also has a slope of -2, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. And because they have the same slope, they are parallel. And because they are parallel, my line's kind of sloppy here, sorry about that. Because they're parallel, our answer is no solution. And we need to explain ourselves. So explaining your solution, we would say the lines are parallel. They do not meet, or they do not intersect.
Thank you.
So that can be your explanation. They do not meet or they do not intersect, so therefore they have no solution. And the last one, solve by graphing. So again, Desmos can help you out on this. You want to find your intercepts. So our x-intercept ends up being 5. Our y-intercept ends up being -3. So that's up and over, like this. And then I could drop down 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I could keep going there and there. My other line has an x-intercept of 6 and a y-intercept also of -3. So guess what? Because they share the same intercept, that's where their intersection is. So right here is where they meet, and their solution is at 0, -3. And then our explanation would be the lines intersect at 0, -3. You could say, therefore, that is the solution. That takes us to the end of our review. Hope that helps you out, and good luck on your test.